we talk about first?
How about AP? Anthony Parker.
Why did I know you guys were going to say that? Well, because first of all, because of the inactive list, AP will dress and be available. Right now, it's still a process, and I have to go in and talk to AP first, before I tell you guys anything or even speculate on if there's a possibility of him playing tonight. And if there is a possibility, I can tell you this: it'll be very limited minutes. But again, I want to talk to him and see how he feels. He went through all the workouts today and said he felt pretty good. So again, after I talk to him, I'll have a better understanding myself on playing time if he plays tonight or not.
Are there any limits on Joey or Christian?
There's no limits on Christian. There's some limits on Joey as far as minutes, and that's something that I got to make sure I take into consideration. Once he goes out there, that I don't exceed those minutes. So again, it's trying to build him back up and get him back into game condition, as it would be with AP as well.
How many minutes are there? Is it
4?
Joey?
Probably realistically want to keep him about that 20-minute mark. Probably not too much more than that.
Plan on keeping G in the starting lineup
Yeah.
for a while?
Well, I wouldn't say for a while, but definitely tonight. And probably these next 3 or 4 games until Joey can kind of build up. As far as getting up and down, and just kind of build up back to speed. As far as just getting up and down the floor and defensively and offensively. And I think right now it's just a situation where he has to just kind of get back in the groove. And it doesn't happen after you're out 4 or 5 weeks that you'll just all of a sudden just be thrown back in there. So it's going to take a few days.
If both Joey and AP are healthy, is Joey your guy to start at the 3?
That I don't know yet. Because I thought AP played pretty well at that spot. We made that change, so that I don't know yet. I'd have to see a little bit more in practice.
Is Boobie off the bench for a while to kind of boost the bench scoring?
All depends on how healthy we can get. I don't know that answer either, Jason. I think him coming off the bench right now really helps us. And it gives us another guy that can score off the bench for us. So right now at this particular time, we'll pretty much keep him at that position.
How much is that tied to Manny showing that he can at least hold his own?
Well, a lot of it. And I think he's done a good enough job to continue to play at that position. Because I know, like I said, I know Boobie can come in and play both positions, supply us with a lot on both ends of the floor. But Manny's progressed pretty nicely, and he's doing some real good things on both ends of the floor for us as well. So I feel a little bit more comfortable now with him being in the starting lineup and having Boobie to come off the bench. Because just like you said, he's been able to hold his own at that position, and that's a good thing.
JJ's been playing well at center, but how much is the addition he just gave when he goes against a bigger guy like a 7-footer? How does it impact his
He has to use the 2 things that he's been gifted with, his athleticism and his quickness. When you're going against a guy, especially like Andre Bogut, it's on both ends of the floor as well. Defensively, he has to use his quickness and his athleticism because he's playing against a guy who's much bigger and much stronger, and he's a pretty physical guy. And we also got to help him as well. He's got to do his work early, but we got to help him as well.
So when he plays a bigger guy, he can't defend him on his own. Is that your theory?
Not for 4, 5, 6 dribbles. You give a guy that many dribbles that's got 3 or 4 inches on you and about 40 pounds on you, he's going to pretty much get where he wants to go. So we got to do a real good job of, like I said, first it depends on JJ. He has to do a good job of getting him out the paint. And then once he catches it and puts it on the floor and it gets near the paint area, then we got to do a good job of coming down and getting that out of his hands. So it starts on him from an individual standpoint. You can't let him catch it in the paint and just catch and shoot. And then there's no way we can get there to help him.
But in terms of developing your young guys, how important is it for those guys to start to win to get that taste of success?
Well, I think the first order of business is for them guys to get comfortable in what we're doing first. On both ends of the floor. And that's the one thing we're trying to preach to them is we keep going through certain scenarios every single day on the defensive end and certain things on the offensive end to get them comfortable. So when they're out there, they're not thinking so much. They're just reacting and playing basketball. Then the second part is winning. We got to get them comfortable and we got to get them up to speed. We got to also develop them, from a physical standpoint as well. But I think the winning part comes after that. You know, I don't think they can win if they don't understand what they're doing out there on the floor at all times. You know, so we got to take care of step one before we jump to step two.
Yeah, do you